Can McCaffrey do it again? Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, dual threat Christian McCaffrey. Fresh off a big game a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting San Francisco 49ers taking on the Washington Redskins. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
On the other side of The field for the visiting 49ers. We're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Black 80! 180!
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Ball start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 12 carries, 57 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well. Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that that could be a really, really frequent combination. He's going to get it running right. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Garoppolo now on 3rd and goal. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And Gold is able to put it through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that part. I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got a man complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, Washington. A big play there, 77 yards. And the Redskins have taken a first quarter lead. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of 2 ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe
Super toe.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Garoppolo looks to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Here we go.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I've played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
The numbers for McCaffrey last week. He was creeping up toward 200 yards, thought he was going to get there, didn't quite make it, but also 2 rushing touchdowns.
And even if he only got about half those numbers this week, his team would take it in a heartbeat, wouldn't they? Because last week, he was spectacular.
Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They're going to look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. McCaffrey following the penalty. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! 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 Flex round! Flex round! Motion, motion, motion!
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They run with Ajayi. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw left side complete. It's Franklin. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Ohio! Ohio!
On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Franklin. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Flex round! Flex round!
On second down, Johnson. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, we got
Back to throw here. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Eric Armstead able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. The quarterback never got rid of the football.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
We got 4. We got 4.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Adrian Colbert, he was right there in coverage. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Here we go. White 90. White 90. Ohio. Ohio. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Flex round. Flex round.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to launch this thing way down. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And he will find his man on the outside. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
20. 180.
Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right on the 30. Look at the spin. Balance. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said,
and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reaction to those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Garoppolo now. 12 of 15 throwing the ball. 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10.
Black 80!
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Eluding the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Flex round! Flex round! Hey, alert 48!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. A dump underneath to Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this 1st half. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Ohio! Ohio!
They'll look to throw. They throw right side here, complete. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. He's going to get it running right. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final play of the 1st half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, Black 80! Black 80!
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Devontae Adams, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Buffalo Bills. 24-0 is your final. And then lastly, the nation gets a good one on Monday night between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Back to throw. Sliding out of the... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DeForest Buckner. Never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12.
They need a stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Watch tight end. Even. 4 down. Even.
Now back to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Eric Armstead in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
180! 120!
Now it's Ajayi. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Hey, here we go. 180. Mike 51.
Here's Ajayi. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That defensive front four has been very good. They have just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like forward-down defensive linemen. They feel like they can cover more ground when defending the run.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
180. 180.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
That is right. 4 down, 4 down. Check, check. Flex round, flex round. Check, 48's the mic. Check, 48's the mic. Flex round, flex round. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
They go play action here on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 44 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll drop the throw. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And this winds up a disaster. Nowhere near the marker. Christian McCaffrey unable to get to the marker. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that. A full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it's a 2nd down. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think. Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Play action, Garoppolo. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. This is Ajayi. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
180! 120!
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, this is by Thema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, fourth quarter. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a third down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
A good pickup there of 20 yards. Now they try the right side here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And now here is another interception. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. The reception good for 7. It's third down. He'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they convert on third with a gain of 22. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Pitching it out to McCaffrey. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll set up to throw. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. DeForest Buckner in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Come on, let's go! Red 38! Red 38!
Looking to throw. And pressure gets to him again. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. To throw is Garoppolo. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 36. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Redskins now, their defense coming back onto the field. They've played excellent. Another stop here, that would just be the icing on the cake.
You definitely want to finish things off the way it's gone throughout the day, and it's gone awfully well for them.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, a 22. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week trying to get...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off inside the 5. It's a foot race past the 20. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Redskins touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what are you doing when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Tucker now for the extra point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Here we go.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house